It seemed to start as a simple cold. Then authorities thought perhaps it was a standard flu. It wasn't long before it was clear that the world was dealing with something much, much worse. Countries tried denying entry, mandating shutdowns, and limiting travel. But it continued to spread. It spread to every corner of the globe, and it started mutating. Governments tried everything they could as thousands upon thousands were dying. Civil unrest began to spread. Now, almost 2 years into the pandemic, as the bodies are piling up, the worst has happened.
Hello and welcome to another 31 Days of Horror 2021 video. If you haven't been following along and you don't know what our 31 Days of Horror consists of, essentially 31 horror films I've never seen before or don't remember having seen before. Which means we get a lot of older, lower budget stuff, sometimes new films, because there's plenty of new horror films coming out and you just can't see them all. But today, as you can see, Leslie is not with me. Why? Because I was kind of saving her from this film because I knew she wouldn't want to watch it. And that is Hard Rock Zombies. Yes, 1985 film. She's not into hard rock or heavy metal, and she can give or take zombie films, and I don't blame her. The film is, believe it or not, rated R. Surprise. It's kind of like a horror comedy, though I do believe that the comedy portion of it is a little understated and probably could have been removed and it would have been a better film. It runs just under an hour 40 minutes. It's directed by Krishna Shah, who had, outside of some Indian films, probably hasn't done anything you've ever heard of. The only other film that he's really known for in North America is American Drive-In. He was also a writer on the film along with David Allen Ball, and David Allen Ball was also involved in the American Drive-In. And the weird fact about this is Hard Rock Zombies was actually originally shot as a sort of like a drive-in movie for the American Drive-In film, but they decided, you know what, let's get some more money, make a full feature-length film out of it, and that's what they did. The film is about essentially a no-name, we'll call it hard rock band that is, traveling across the country doing shows, and they are about to get possibly their big break because a big record producer is going to see their show that's taking place in the town of Grand Guignol. But of course, this town is not into hard rock and heavy metal and those hooligans and drugs and the sex and the stuff and the violence that they bring. So the townsfolk kind of rebel against them, except for this one family. So, yeah, essentially, let's put it this way. If I said I was going to review a film filled with hard rock music, heavy metal, and a lot of music, and unreceptive townsfolk, and kills and murders, and an Addams Family meets a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type family with deformed little people and a werewolf and Hitler, and murder and zombies and Nazis and Lolita love affairs and blonde bombshell nudity and yeah, just go on and on and on. You name it, it's like in this film. Would that pique your interest? Because that is probably the best selling point of Hard Rock Zombies. It has got like everything. Going over the cast, there's a few people who have been in other films. Gino Andrews was also in Dr. Alien from 1989. Sam Mann, who played Bobby in this film, was also in, and I didn't even know these existed. I gotta track these down. Rollerblade Warriors Taken by Fire, and the Rollerblade 7. Lisa Toothman, who played Elsa, was also in the Rollerblade Warriors, Taken by Force. Did I say Taken by Force? She was also in Witchcraft 3. I should do a thing about the Witchcraft series. It's a crazy long series. The Kiss of Death, and Eyes of the Serpent, kind of a newer film comparatively. Richard Vidon was the sheriff, who was also in Scarecrows, probably very familiar with that. He was also in Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where he played Weatherby. He was also in Zipperface, Auntie Lee's Meat Pies, I think was the name of the movie. Which just recently got it put out on Vinegar Syndrome. He was also in Tumors and Zombie Infection and Demon Mind. Crystal Shaw, who played Mrs. Buff in this film, was in Hard Bodies as Candy. She was also in American Drive-In, the film I referenced earlier. Sword of Heaven, Evil Spawn, The Alien Within, and Laser Moon. So if you're into the low budget B movie type stuff, a lot of these people, you're gonna recognize them, or they were in films that you probably have seen or want to see. Michael David Sims played. What did he play? Oh, Don Matson. He was also in Scarecrow. He was the main. I think he was the main character in White Tiger, the action film. Oddly enough, he was in that Doctor Who movie, the North American one, that just came out of nowhere and then disappeared. Yeah, he was in that one. He was also in Phantasmagoria 2, A Puzzle Flesh, Y2K, and the 2005 film Santa's Sleigh. I know there's a few films with that name, so I had to specify that. Emmanuel Shipov played the grandfather, who, and I love this, was also in Biohazard, Grunt, the wrestling movie, and The Tomb. So you kind of know where he's coming from. And then we have David O'Hara as Ed, who was also in Biohazard, Star Wars 2 Attack of the Pleasure Pods, The Tomb, Armed Response, Angel of Vengeance, Where the Devil Dwells from 2016. So yeah, clearly getting into some of the same work. But believe it or not, the main person who is most recognizable in this is clearly one of our little friends who we love so much. Mr. Phil Fondacaro, who, I mean, you could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's like, if you watch anything from Full Moon, he's like almost in all of them. It's do I even have to name movies? I will. So let's see. He was in Return of the Jedi. He was in Ewok, as pretty much everybody was back then. He was in The Dungeon Master. He was in The Black Cauldron. He's also in American Drive-In. He was in Invaders from Mars, Ghoulies 2, the Garbage Pail Kids movie, Tales from the Dark Side, Willow, of course, right? Phantasm 2, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. He was in Nerds of a Feather. He was in Meridian, like I said, full moon movies, right? Believe it or not, he's also uncredited and in the Doors movie. Just to, name something that's just kind of off the wall. Dollman versus Demonic Toys, Double Double, Toil and Trouble, Hellraiser Bloodline, Bordello of Blood, The Elevator, Deformed Monsters, Addams Family Reunion, where he played Cousin It, Blood Dolls. I could name all of the full moon films that he was in, and take up, a ton of time. But I think the last film he did was The Haunted Dollhouse from 2013. I'm a big fan. I grew up as a full moon kid, so Phil Fondacara, like as soon as I saw him, he was the most recognizable actor to me, obviously. And out of everybody who's in there, it's understandable that he is, because most of the people only did this film or did this and maybe one other, or at most 5 or 6 other films, and that was it. Like, career done, I'm out. This film has nudity, it has blood, it has some humor. Though, like I said at the beginning, I wish they had cut out the humor and just went with kind of like a straight up horror. It probably would have played better, because there are some jokes that are really out of place. There are some really cool scenes, and this film, I was quite surprised that, considering I bought it on this Blue Laser Films DVD, had never seen it before, that, their farewell concert is to die for. It's some of the music is really good. Some of it's but there are so many things in this film that are awesome. In fact, I give it if I had to give it, I give it a recommend for sure. But work, gotta answer work. But if I had to. Give it a rating. If I had to give it a rating, what would I give the rating for this film? You know what? I'm gonna give it a 3. It's probably about a 2.5 in terms of production value, but I did find it quite entertaining, and the music was better than I thought it would be. So I'm gonna pump this up to a 3. I'm gonna say, you know what, this is fun. I was quite pleasantly surprised by hard rock zombies. I knew I'd be okay with the zombies. I knew I'd be okay with the hard rock. But when you look at a cover like this, you go, and then you see Hitler on the back, and you're just like, oh God, where is this gonna go? And admittedly, I'm waiting for the Blu-ray of this. Where's the Vinegar Syndrome release of this film? Because honestly, it's right up their alley. This is something that needs a really, really good release. It needs to have somebody go in there and do it justice, because this DVD, maybe there's no way to do it justice. Maybe the quality of the film is just what it is. But I don't know. I actually quite enjoyed it. So that is the film Hard Rock Zombies from 1985 for 31 Days of Horror. More 31 Days of Horror to come. Yes, there is. Stay tuned. Keep watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good one.